amazing that something that is as important as holding and setting the football and everything, they just say, you're the punter, you're qualified. That's your job.
He does catch a football snapped in a similar fashion
he does.
on a regular basis, doing his main job.
Right, but it's closer, and there's other things you're supposed to do. Now, he has to manipulate the football a little bit, too. I get it. I get he understands the craft, and many punters probably were place kickers, so they have a sense of it. But it's almost like saying, well, we don't have a catcher, Bill. You're the trainer. Go catch in a major league game. I don't know. I mean, it just seems like little counterintuitive.
Slow pitch softball. Someone's going to just sit back there and catch the ball.
So you're the punter, so you get to hold. And maybe there's somebody. There are probably some other guys who might be good at it.
Well, I think there's also an overwhelming amount of evidence that guys that a lot of guys have done it and done it well.
Right.
Right.
Yeah,
it's not as hard as maybe at times Tommy Townsend made it look.
Right, but it is so important that any minor mistake, and also we probably don't even see the nuances of a missed kick a lot of times. I mean, the obvious ones we do see. Oh, geez, he had to kick the laces, but I don't know. Maybe the ball's tilted the way a guy didn't like it. I don't know. I don't know.
But Townsend saved one in the Super Bowl last year.
But the other part of it,
from way down.
The other part of it is
overtime game.
Is that yes, they get to be off to the side and practice, and they have the time to do it. It doesn't look like it's particularly genius, but it does seem a little odd that at the highest professional level, I'm trying to think of a better analogy for it, in a sport where people are combining with each other, I don't know.
I want to see Jared Wiley play, the tight end from TCU. He's looked very good in camp. I want to see him do it against a real defense that's playing against him. I want to see Mike Caliendo. We're not going to see Joe Tooney, so I want to see how he looks at left guard, because it looks like he's the 7th offensive lineman that's probably got a spot on the team already locked up, along with the loser of the left tackle battle and the other 4 starters. Jaden Hicks, we hear a lot.
Yeah,
the
problem always is the fact that in the game like this, by the time you see the guys you want to see playing and whatever, who are they playing against? Quality of competition. So there's all kinds of things that make it difficult to judge, but I guess it's better than practicing against your own guys. So there's people in the stands. The intensity level is better. So it's better, but it's still not, like for like.
You have to kind of alter your...
In all likelihood, Caliendo will be facing off against, Malazzi. They're schlump.
Well, Caliendo's going to be running with the ones.
Yeah.
Right. So, but I don't know what their one's going to be.
Yeah. All the new guys you want to see. You want to see Xavier Worthy. You want to see Hollywood Brown.
Well, I think what fans are going to want to see, and what they're probably going to get, is that I think the Chiefs will probably throw the ball deep a few times right off the top. I think they'll probably throw 3.
Oh, sure.
While Patrick's in there, I imagine they're going to throw 3 deep balls at least. Yeah. They've been doing it in camp.
Yep. Was he 1 for 2 last year in the first game?
I have to look up here.
He's going to get like a series.
Yeah.
They said that it's going to be a quarter, but if it's successful...
They said last year,
I know.
And he got a series.
But didn't they score?
Let me see.
I don't think so.
No, they didn't. It wasn't successful.
You had the numbers. I thought he was like 1 for 2 for 9 yards.
I did, but I didn't remember them in my head.
No, I
feel good that you don't.
Chastising
I know.
I'm asking you.
I know.
I
can't remember.
Little touchy?
No. 2 for 2. 2 for 2 for 15. Long of 13.
And so it doesn't sound like they went down and scored. Maybe they kicked a field goal. I don't know. That's 15 yards. It's at least a first down.
First drive, turned it over on downs.
Oh, so they drove into
began at the
enemy
24
territory.
Yeah,
and then
began at the 24, got to around midfield and gave it went for it on 4th down. Didn't score.
Right. So yeah,
and we knew then the season was over.
No, we could wait till Christmas and think the season was over.
They direct snapped the ball to Blake Bell on 4th and 1 at the 48 and got stuffed.
Wowza. Playing all the hits.
I'd forgotten about that. That's
playing
funny.
all the hits right there.
Woo!
They have a fullback this year, don't they? They're going to have a fullback.
They have a
guy they like.
Steele.
Right, man.
Carson Steele.
What a name!
What a name!
I mean,
Fantastic.
fullback,
With an E
head
at the
fullback, Carson Steele.
It's either that or U.S. Marshal. I mean, there's no in between for that guy. I like him. I think he looks good, but he looks good against backups. He's usually not in there with the ones. And
Right.
But Andy Reid's either really likes the kid and is selling him to get a job someplace else, or he's like, no, this kid's on the team because he's been pretty. I don't want to say outspoken, but he usually doesn't say much in the way of anything. And he's like, oh, yeah, he looks good. And, can he play the fullback? That's what we're trying to figure out here. Like, I don't know. I mean, he ran for, on our Red Golden Bull podcast, take a look at Kareem Hunt's last year at Toledo and take a look at his sophomore year at Ball State. They look pretty close.
Right.
Now, I'm not saying he's as good as Kareem Hunt, but I'm saying he was about as productive as Kareem Hunt in the same league. So just something to consider.
Yep.
Let's take a break. You love track. I want to ask you a question about track when we come back. Danny Clinkscale's with us. Olympic Nut is Danny Clinkscale. He's brought to you by Easton Roofing. They're online at eastonroofing.com. No payment collected until you're 100% satisfied, whether it's your home or your business. Get a free inspection right now. A lot of hail, a lot of wind, a lot of damage to a lot of roofs. Easton Roofing can let you know right now whether you've got a problem or not. Find them online at eastonroofing.com.
If you'd like to join these and other fine sponsors and market your business to Kansas City's #1 variety podcast, contact us at danny@dannyclinkscale.com. Look forward to working with you.
Did you experience hail damage last year and never got the work done? Most insurance companies only give you a year to get the roof fixed. And if you don't get it done, you could possibly not be compensated in full for the replacement of your roof. If you've been procrastinating getting that damaged roof taken care of, give us a call at 913-257-5426, and we'll send out an expert to help you through the process. We're never pushy, we're just here to help. Easton Roofing. Integrity matters.
Danny Unleashed, little Danny Clinkscale for you here on a Friday. We're both big fans of the Olympics.
Indeed.
Enjoy watching it.
I was watching, I try to sample a few of the other things. You can't watch a lot of everything. Did you see the penalty shootout in the men's field hockey?
I think so.
Wasn't that the same game that got delayed because the sprinklers started going off?
I don't know. I didn't see that part, but
One of the field hockey games that happened.
That's a hard thing. These guys have to play a sport where they run around all day stooped over at the waist.
I don't get field hockey. And I took my...
Better have some abs in that sport.
My daughter went to a field hockey camp to see if she wanted to...
Right.
Oh, maybe I'll tell you. She's like, nope, I'm out. She did the one day, and like, well, you got to finish today.
It's fun. It's kind of fun. The men, I watched a lot of the men's final, but not that much. But I knew then it was like the shootout. I said, I got to watch the shootout. It's hard to score, but if you can go back and watch it, it is cool. It's really unique because they come in every time and they always do this spinorama thing every single time because it's hard to score. The goalie wears like all this equipment. So anyway, I was watching the table tennis today a little bit, but when the track comes, that's my jam.
That's your part.
That's my jam.
By the way, I saw the water polo, the men's semis,
right? And
it was 5-5 in a shootout, and then it was 6-5 them. I can't remember who we were playing, and our guy missed.
Ooh,
yeah.
Ooh.
The water polo PKs that's a tough stop. Let me tell you,
that's probably like the team handball must eventually go to penalties, don't they? And that's a real hard stop. I don't even know how they do it, but
Michael Johnson, I saw him on they interviewed him on the if you have Peacock, you can watch Kevin Hart and Kenan Thompson doing highlights. And it's kind of a funny bit.
Okay.
And they had Michael Johnson on there. Then I saw him on the actual coverage, or maybe it was on ESPN, I can't remember. But anyway, he's going around promoting Grand Slam track.
Okay.
And what he says it's going to be is it's Grand Slam like Grand Slam tennis, and that they're going to have 4 meets each year in 4 different countries. So it'll be like the French, the wherever.
So these are the majors.
And these are the major track meets, and the idea is that, like, basically, other than the Olympics or the World Championships, you never get all of the best athletes in one place because they get appearance fees.
Right.
And so one little track meet's like, well, we'll give all our money to get, Carl Lewis here. And so Carl Lewis is there with a bunch of rummies, and he runs, and people get excited.
Right.
And he's like, people love this because it's national, but he said it's also all the best. So his idea is 4 times a year, there's going to be a meet, and he's going to get all the best that are there.
Right.
First of all, I don't know that he can pull it off because I don't know that you can have more money to give every person in track and field. And I don't know if it's going to be just track or if it's track and field, but you can have more money than all these little...
It'd have to be limited event. They'd have to limit the events. You couldn't have all these like 4x400 mixed, which was a cool event, actually. It was fun to watch.
And maybe it'll be no relays, no team things, because it'll all just be the individuals.
Right.
And what you can get in on one day, or maybe it'll be 2 days. I don't know. I don't know the details. But do you think that'll... Let's say he can do it and get the best. Would people watch it?
In the United States?
Yes.
No. I don't think it would be a success in the United States. Track already is pretty successful in Europe. You know, they have a good, diamond events. They sort of have a thing like that, where the best events, I think they're called the diamond events. So I think people go to that more because when you're talking about the rest of the world, there's no American football. So there's a pretty big void. And there's no American baseball generally also.
Right.
In small places there in Japan.
But soccer is much more important, so that covers half of that.
But soccer's, it covers a lot of it. But still, so I think there's a chance if you're going to do it in London and, China and but the United States, they're going to have to try. But I think it would be a harder pull because you're not talking the biggest. I think a big attraction for people to even watch the Olympics is the national aspect of it. And if it's individual athletes who are just running for their own glory, I think that's going to be harder for sure.
I think so as well.
Yeah.
Would you watch it, Curtis?
I would watch it.
I would watch it. Yeah, but I think it's.
But it's
so
obscure.
much
It's obscure enough. For instance, in the run-up to the Olympics, I would DVR just because one time I did and it remembered it. So I get track. Whenever there's a major track event, it comes up in my queue. And I can keep that thing in there for, like the World Indoors. I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
I never found out what happened. I watched that thing for 2 months. Oh, it's the 200. Super. It's late at night. I got nothing to do. This is going to be great. Because it happened a month and a half ago, but I don't know who the hell won.
It's all new to you.
It's all new to me. So
I would watch, even if they weren't wearing the U.S. colors, you would still think that's the American racer. And I think if they did this and got it off the ground, by the time you got around to the Olympics, you'd know who the people were who were running for the U.S. A lot of times, how many people were just discovered the last 2 weeks?
Although they do a wonderful job in these races in the the run-up
but they
with
wouldn't
the
have to.
introduction.
Yeah.
It's cool.
People go
and that's
into
another
it.
great thing we talked
Yes.
off air about that Australian guy and what he does.
The play-by-play guy.
Lee
The play-by-play guy. Because he does like 2 minutes on every person just before the race. So you do get an aspect of it. It's cool watch. Watch track tonight. You'll enjoy it.
It is. It's a lot of fun. Danny, always fun talking to you. Appreciate it, buddy.
All right.
We hope you enjoyed the latest Danny Clinkscale Reasonably Irreverent podcast. Come back soon for something fresh and new. This podcast was made possible by our great sponsors like Easton Roofing, where integrity matters. Joe Spiker and his team are the best in the business for all your roofing needs, handled with honesty and craftsmanship. Visit them at eastonroofing.com.